Look, a fight plan isn't just what you do when you're getting inside of the boxing ring. You know what? It's the strategy that actually goes to secure the best freaking boxing career and stand alone at the top. And when I say that, I want you guys to all understand that's exactly what we're going to talk about. Because most of the time you hear the word fight plan and you think of the strategy just in the fight. But there are three phases to this thing when you want to have a robust boxing career. And that number one is collaborate, brand partnerships, and endorsements. And a lot of you are familiar with some of those terms, and a lot of you are not. But today you're going to learn what it looks like when you're one of these top fighters, and then you learn exactly what it took for you to get to that level. Because it's not just like joining a football team in the NFL, and the only thing you have to do is go put on the hat and you're an official Dallas Cowboy. See, it takes a lot more. So my job is to educate every one of you who wants to really know what goes behind the game plan. So this is focusing on the strategy and building a robust boxing career. So thanks for taking the time to hang out with us. We're going to get into the David Benavidez fight. We're going to use David Benavidez as an actual talking point today. So when we get into this, the conversations are going to really give you guys great insight on what is an actual brand partnership, and what is an actual collaboration, and what is an endorsement. And so when you get off of this feed today, you're going to learn how to use them, how to actually go get them, and who's actually involved in those type of relationships in the fight game. So thanks for taking the time. For all of you who are new to the channel, thanks again for hanging out with us. Boy, you're late to the dance. My name is Eric A. Bradley, coach, that is, and we teach boxing, the business of boxing, that is. So today we get over the fight, we go over the fight plan. And one of the guys that is constantly benefiting from boxing today, understanding one thing that's the most important part of your endeavor when you are going to box, and that is proximity. And proximity is something that determines where you're going to actually end up. All right. So a lot of people, they hear that term and they don't quite understand what they mean by proximity is power. If you take a bottle of water and if you put that bottle of water outside your door, that bottle of water, or if you put it on one of those trucks that used to ride by and give you, the snow cones and the potato chips and the snacks, that thing will be $1.25. You take it to the corner store and that thing is going to be $2.99. You put it in a grocery store, something like somewhere like Publix, or in an airport, you can pay as much as $7 for a bottle of water. Proximity determines what value is put on an individual, especially in the fight game. So you had David Benavidez out west, right? Okay. Boxing, doing his thing, but then he transitions down to Miami because he needed a brand refreshener. And the brand refreshener is, how much value do you put on an athlete? How much value do you actually put on an athlete? Well, where is he trained? Some of you may not be from larger cities and stuff, but we're here down in South Florida. And if you're in South Florida, New York, California, Las Vegas, in the United States, in Texas, then you're to be reckoned with. But if you're anywhere other than these places, you won't be seen but as a commodity. And that means a one of trillion, because you didn't have the wherewithal to just get to the place that you actually need to be recognized. But what we're going to do is show you one of the best fighters to ever lace them up. We're going to talk about how David Benavidez will need to put together a fight plan, but we're going to strategically go into the other components of building a fight plan. Like I said at the very beginning, The first thing you have to do is create the strategy to assemble your team and the pieces that you're going to need in order for you to benefit inside the ring and outside the ring. And you want your wealth and you want more health. That means you need skills, and you need to plug in those three components that you need: collaborations, brand partnerships, and endorsements. All right. So we're going to first take a peep inside of a collaboration. A collaboration is when two people decide to merge together just to expand the impact of what they're trying to do, right? So when you look at people who have a collaboration, I'm going to use someone like when you saw All the Smoke fight and Andre Ward pulled together. Andre Ward was bringing what he had in boxing, his historic, triumphant golden glove. I mean, not golden gloves, but golden gloves too. But gold medal Olympian, multiple world champion, fighter, Hall of Fame career, and brought it to the channel on YouTube, All the Smoke. Now, when that merger came into play, they turned it from All the Smoke to All the Smoke Fight, because that's a great collaboration. Andre brings what he has, which is respect in the sport of boxing, and they bring what they had. They had money and they needed branding. Everybody who's got two eyes in their head know that doing something with boxing is going to just elevate whatever it is that you're doing outside of anything else. So that is number one. So these are things that you got to think about when you're building your own career. Just say, for instance, you're building your career, but you are constantly feeling like something's missing. These things that I'm talking about right now are it. That's why these guys are in the top of the food chain. This is why they are vying to stay on top, because they understand the moves that you got to make. And if you make the right moves, you're going to get the right impact, because you're going to be in the right place, and everything is magnified when you're in the right place. So the next thing, when you talk about another guy, and when we're talking about collaboration, remember this: you got to have some value first too, because in order for a company to want to do something with you, like we reach over 30 million people every month, right? Just on Instagram alone, we touched 8.1 million accounts. I show my people, I show my coaches, I show all of the people who are under the master boxing tenure, everybody. I show them, because we're living these things in real time. And I want those guys to understand how important it is to have value, right? If 8 million accounts, not views, but accounts, got to have a conversation with Master Boxing just in a month, and we reaching over 30 million in viewership, that means over 60 million eyeballs have seen us. And anytime you want to collaborate with anyone, it's gonna be an easy thing to do, because you've done your work. A lot of people, and I'm going to give you a good way to run people off. Not approach people when you haven't accomplished anything. You want to run people off in a collaboration world. Don't reach up to someone who's done so much more than you that you bring no value, unless you're operating at a different kind of level, meaning you got maybe some golden gloves up under your hand, or you've established a business and you got traction. It's just not big yet in social media. Always bring something, or if you've invented something that's crazy, or if you have a very unique skill set and ability that's scalable, all right, that like you could really, like, you look a certain way, you 7 foot tall, or you got a body that just is out of this world, or your face should be on a side of a building. You got to bring something that's going to amplify the thing. So when you're going to collaborate, things that you need to do. Have something very unique, not because you think you can fight. That ain't enough. That ain't unique. You're one loss away. So never rely on that unless you 30-0 and you smoke cats and you just have done it in smaller cities. So here's another thing that you got to do. Make sure that you have no other discretions or things that's going to pop up, because when you collaborate, you can stain someone else's brand if something pops up on you. Collaborations are a big deal. When you come and people ask to do things with us, most of the time we're going to say no because they haven't established anything, nothing that we can look at and be excited about. So if you're going to approach us, you always got to make sure that you have your ducks in a row and that you understand being professional, because the only people we're doing things with are established brands and networks, okay, and organizations that have established themselves. And so if you're new, then it's key that you have real backing, an economic kind of empire behind you that you don't have to worry about tanking out, because we don't stop here. And so that's one of the things that you want to think about when you're collaborating with someone. Okay. So the next thing you want to think about is, how else do you get this thing? You want to do a brand deal. All right. A brand deal. And when we talk about that, here's a great way when you're thinking about brand partnerships. Here's a brand partnerships, like, and I didn't stress that in a collaboration, no one actually is saying, hey, I'm going to give you money or you're going to give me money. It's not an exchange of money. Okay. That's a collaboration. We're just bringing more. If I touch base with you or you touch base with me and you say, I want to get a piece of that, those 8 million accounts that you touch base with every month. All right. Then what do you bring? Do you have celebrity status people that you're just trying to collaborate with, and maybe your network has a powerful influx of really quality people that want the things that we do? Like, our focus is to bring star power to people, give you the biggest voice and amplify your name brand. That's what we do. That's what we use our platform for, to amplify people. So if you got great people that's following you and we feel like there's a benefit there, then that's a great collaboration. Now, here's the other one. Now you look at, what can someone do in order to get, a brand partnership? Well, here's an example of a brand partnership. And a lot of the guy who I'm about to pull up, and his name is Floyd Mayweather. And Floyd Mayweather has a brand partnership with Hublot, okay, the designer watch company, and they make extravagant, high quality watches. All right. So luxury watches are a big deal. And Mayweather's done that deal. Now you get paid for that brand. Okay. So you're not collaborating. Now you're coming together, but it's a partnership and it's all about money, percentages. And if you don't understand how to structure deals like this, the most important thing is understanding. If you don't understand it, get someone in your circle that does understand it. Hence is why fight plan means more than just a fight strategy. Guys like the next guy that I'm going to bring up as another deal opportunity, or as another person who's gone out there and done the hard work, is Canelo Alvarez. We all know Canelo from doing a brand partnership with Under Armour. So not only is he getting money, he's getting shares in the company, he's getting gear. It comes with a complete just bungalow of just great opportunities and things, right? Because if you're with Under Armour, you got access to all of the other people and all of the other opportunities, commercials, and you meet people, because a lot of athletes and big brands are connected to Under Armour. So these individuals, these people had to go out and get these deals. So you want to have people on your team that are competent in business and building up the brand. That's a brand. Mayweather is a brand. All right. When you look at Canelo brings an entire country and a culture with him. When you look at Floyd brings an experience. Everything he does flamboyantly. And that is kind of what you want to glue to yourself. What is your brand? Your brand is your promise. Whenever you used to watch guys like Mayweather get in the ring, it was going to be a heck of a promotion every single time, 100%. Now, when you look at Canelo Alvarez, he's extravagant and he comes with this big waving culture of people that love their fighter. You're gonna get that. So, with that being said, this is where you get companies to say, I want to endorse that guy. That guy just has it all. So you get opportunities to do things that you would have never, ever done. And when we look at the proximity as power, we take it back to David Benavidez. Lo and behold, he gets to work now by making that pivot, making that proximity pivot to Miami. His life has changed into so much more flamboyance, so much more. And he gets to work with guys like Andre Ward and all of the, you've seen him, his voice is amplified from talk shows to radio to interviews. It's like he's in demand in the game. You see, this is all about building up the brand. No, maybe he doesn't get the Canelo fight, but one of the things he does do is he gets in the house of people that would have not known him before that, right? His following is grown exponentially. His flamboyance, his circle, it's just different now down here in South Florida. It's just, it permeates. You know, everyone wants a piece of you when you get into the Mecca, when it comes down to just the sexiest place to be. All right. So there's that. And these are the things like understanding how to build a brand. A couple of years ago, Mosley had suffered a loss, right? And it was like, how do you come back from that situation, right? How does it help you start focusing on what I can do? Because you can't just say, I want to have success. You got to commit to yourself in a way that nothing that gets in front of you is going to slow you down or stop you. And that's exactly the mindset you got to have. You can't be a halfway crook. You're either going to be operating like a cat burglar, have no fear, and attack with malice. And that's exactly what Shane did. So what did he do? We got with him and we sat him down and we did what we call, we put him with our company, Star Power. And what that was to do is to peek into his mind and find out what he actually wanted. And not only did we find out what he actually wanted, we found out how he wanted it. What is your vision and what is your desire? What, I mean, how committed are you? It takes a real dedicated effort to do this. This isn't just sitting down with someone. You have to literally peel back the layers. You have to literally dig in and understand how you can create the scope of this person's career, their life, and build them up like never before. And when you can do that, that allows them to see where that next level of their highest good could be. And then you say, here's what needs to happen. These are strategy sessions with Star Power. And Star Power is Star Power. It gives you the leverage to speak in volume. And now, with that mindset, you see them now, and what you see is an entirely different guy. It's an entirely different person than you saw before that. Confident, came on a multitude of the shows. Strategically, we produce a lot of content and helped him really establish his new look, his new vibe. And that is a powerful thing. Whenever you have the opportunity to be a success, just like this guy right here to the side, that look, that feel, that vibe is all about what you were willing to sacrifice to get there, how to build a team around you, how to strategically amplify everything that was in your head and carve it into a real thing. Now you're on talk shows. Now you get the opportunity for those guys to reach out to you. Now you get endorsed by Hummer. You get all types of opportunity. When people see that you believe in your brand, they realize that you are someone that's worth investing and endorsing. And with that being said, that's what will happen if you understand the game of boxing in a much more profound way and being clear about what your actual promise is to the game. And the promise is commit and dive in a way that you will never, ever be confused about your boxing again. And this translates into everything that you will do. Anything or any endeavor that you will take part in, it's going to require you to commit in a different kind of way. And when you have a strategy, a game plan, and understand one important thing, how to launch yourself into this next chapter of your life, and that thing that you wanted that was a small dream, you turn that thing into something that actually permeates in the marketplace. Whenever people hear the name that you call it, they know that it's tied to you. Like when I go somewhere and say master boxing, there's an impasse of people. That thing happens. It establishes my presence. Master boxing. And the thing that you're trying to establish, it'll do the exact same thing because you have to put that much more belief in it. Now, this is exactly how we will leave everything going into the next show, where we'll really talk about how to recruit, how do you go about recruiting, and how to actually astonish and take this and map it out as a blueprint. This blueprint is called Launch Pro. And I want you guys to know that if you're going to do anything, it takes strategy, it takes planning, and it takes you to take it serious and get other people that believe in what you do behind this thing, so that whenever you start, there's no hiccups and there are no trip ups. Everybody believes wholeheartedly that this thing is a real thing that you've cultivated in your mind, and then you're going to bring it into reality. And this is where we understand the power of Launch Pro. For all of you guys who are taking part in learning about growth and developing and knowing that what you will have in here is a real thing, all my objective is to make sure that you understand that you can reach that thing. And David Benavidez is going to be a bigger individual because he's concentrating on building his brand up, because the only people that are around him are the people that are actually building themselves up. That's what you do. All of the greatness that surrounds the young man is a part of the puzzle as you go, just like Rocky. Rocky 2, you started to see him being surrounded. In 3, he becomes the thing. And that's what is happening. It's frequencies transferring and understanding your voice. Because what we wanted to be clear with Shane is understanding your voice, understanding the plan, and understanding how to say it to the people, understanding how to project it off of you. And then in no time, everything just turned around. The opportunities start coming. The championship titles start laying themselves in front of him. And that comes from confidence, planning, understanding that boxing is more than throwing your hands up and hoping for the best. But this is all about taking it by the horns and dragging it through the dirt, flipping that baby over, and turn it into a steak, because that's planning. And if you want to learn how to do that, make sure you're here on Tuesday when we give you the opportunity to take part. We're going to talk about it live. So if you want to talk about it, make sure you show up next Tuesday, and we're going to show you exactly. If you're a part of the fight game, you don't want to miss this. And if you've ever been considering being a part of it, you definitely don't want to miss the Launch Pro. It's a real boxer's boot camp for elevating and taking the career like we've shown you that we've done and helped others do to the next level of your highest dream. So that's all I got. Thanks for taking the time to hang out with us over here at Master Boxing LLC. My name is Coach Eric A. Bradley, coach that is, and we teach boxing, the business of boxing that is. If this gave you something to think about, consider subscribing for more, and I'll see you soon in the winner's circle. If you're over on Instagram and Facebook, make sure you go over and take the polls in, because we need a little feedback from you guys. So go over, take the polls, and like I said, I'll see you guys soon in the winner's circle. Peace out, guys.